precious flock. Thanks for tuning in. So today is a amazing day. Do you know why? Because it's the beginning of season 3 of RNNC. And well, it's our first episode. I can't believe I got this far. Thank you, everybody who's ever tuned into my channel. And well, I don't want to waste any more time. And you know why? Because we literally have a big problem to deal with right now. I currently have to run over and activate the supercomputer and the transfer chambers because each and every one of you, as well as myself, are going to, metaphorically speaking, of course, be walking into the video game based world of Code Lyoko. So let's get going because the Lyoko warriors need our help and we have to stop Xana. So let's get started!
Transfer Raven.
Alright, all joking aside, today I'm going to be discussing one of my favorite foreign animated series to ever grace Cartoon Network history, Code Lyoko. Code Lyoko was a French animation-based sci-fi series that was created by Thomas Romain as well as Tanya Palumbo and lasted for 4 seasons. The premise for Code Lyoko originated from a short film by the name of Les Enfants font le film, which translates to The Kids Make Their Movies, which was created by a group of students from a Parisian visual art school, Gobelin School of the Image, and directed by Thomas Romain. Romain worked with Tanya Palumbo, Stanislas Brunet, and Jerome Gautret to bring this film to life. The Kids Make Their Movies was entered into the 2000 Annecy International Film Festival, where it caught the attention of anti-films. Romain and Palumbo received an offer to turn this movie into a series. This led to the pilot pitch that later turned into Code Lyoko's franchise being named Garage Kids. And Garage Kids' creation took place in 2001 under the Anti-Films name. Garage Kids had almost an identical Code Lyoko setup, but it was still missing something. Eventually, the virtual world of Lyoko was added to not only mix in CGI with animation, but to help promote a video game styling to the show. Fortunately for us, by 2002, the scripting for the show had officially began taking place. That ultimately began some issues for the show. Those problems consisted of everything from the writers leaving the project to network companies hesitating to even air the episodes at all because they wanted to rerun episodes for new first-time viewers without ever worrying about an episode order. I mean, logically, that does kind of make sense. And the problems trickled down to the producer, Thomas Romain, leaving the series entirely for a new show and leaving the show to be eventually sold to Canal J in France 3, where they legally changed the name to Code Lyoko because they believed it was too unclear through the title what the show was about. In case many of you have never seen the show, Code Lyoko was a 2D animation to 3D animation based show. Layman's terms, the 2D portion was them in the quote real world part of the show, where the 3D portion took place in the world of Lyoko, better known as the gaming world. It was produced for television by 2 companies. The first was Anti-Films Production, which took place starting September 3rd of 2003 until the end of season 1 on February 25th of 2024. Starting August 31st, 2005, which was 20 months after season 1 wrapped up, the new production company, Moonscoop Group, had taken over the production of the show until its series finale, which debuted on November 10th of 2007. The show first premiered on a free-to-air public television channel known as France 3 on September 3rd of 2003. Code Lyoko did not appear for US fans until April 19th of 2004, when it was launched on our beloved Cartoon Network, where it was part of the after-school program block. It even had its own time slot. It then appeared on Kabillion from 2007 to 2015. Cartoon Network, may you rest in peace. Thank you for an awesome childhood. You are amazing. You will never be forgotten. Code Lyoko was also aired in Latin America and Japan on Jetix. It was also viewable for Italian fans through Disney Channel, Rai 2, and Rai Sat, Smash and Rai Gulp. Code Lyoko also had a very, and I mean very, catchy theme song that was between two primary languages, French and American, and I love both versions. However, the song had lyrics in several other languages, such as, but not limited to, Brazilian, Portuguese, Spanish, European Spanish, Latin American, Catalan, Romanian, Welsh, Finnish, Russian, Siberian, Hebrew, Japanese, Polish, and of course, Hungarian. Appropriately named A World Without Danger, and its French counterpart, that is pronounced Un Monde Sans Danger, were probably the most easily recognizable but distinct songs for the entirety of the series. To this very second, depending on what channel you pull up, both these songs have over as little as 250,000 and as high as 1.4 million views on YouTube. I just want to stop and say something super important very quick. Please, I know you don't hear a lot of people talking in a second language very often, and when you do, there's a lot of people that promote hate, discrimination, and saying that they get offended by it, okay? I'm sure at some point in the future I'm gonna come across one person that's gonna hate on me for the fact that I pronounced French phrases, and they're gonna probably say something along the lines of, oh, well, you did it inaccurately, or the way you worded it, it meant this. Look, I'm not from Paris. Yes, I do have lineage that links back to France. It's multiple generations from where I am today. I don't even know how many generations. I just began doing my lineage checking, like looking into it. I do know that there is already one person that comes up that was born near Paris, France. Now, am I making excuses? To some, they might think I am. But I have always had a nice, respectful love for France. Your country is freaking beautiful. I mean, you have a lot of pop culture that depicts or does homages to your beautiful country, such as a couple scenes in Dynasty starring Elizabeth Gillies. You have the animated movie Anastasia, that her grandmother lives in Paris. And you also have the beautiful icon that is Madeline. Please, 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 please do not hate on me because I would never hate on your country. Actually, again, I have a lot of respect for it. Here we are, going far to save all that we love. The story about Code Lyoko is a little bit on the intricate side for its time. While the show's characters were featured to uphold a manga-inspired styling, the story was ahead of its time. To that, I will always hold a candle of respect for the show. Spoiler alert. Code Lyoko was about a young man named Jeremy Belpoy, who was a student at the Kadiak Academy boarding school. During his time at the school, Jeremy stumbled upon a quantum supercomputer in an abandoned factory near the school and activated it. Once realizing the activation is successful, he meets Ailita, a young girl whose father, Franz Hopper, had virtualized and trapped her in the supercomputer. I know, everybody's gonna go nuts. They're like, oh my god, her dad trapped her in a supercomputer. Wait a minute, there's a reason for it. After Ailita had educated Jeremy about the world of Lyoko, Xana, and her father's work, Jeremy recruits the assistance of his three friends, Odd, Ulrich, and Yumi, to help stop Xana's attacks on Lyoko and occasionally the real world. During this time, Jeremy spends countless hours trying to find a way to rematerialize Ailita back into the real world, which was often a total bust. In Season 2, Ailita was successfully rematerialized into the real world, but Xana planted a virus in her body that would unalive her if the supercomputer was ever deactivated. Aw, look at Xana, being one step ahead. Or was it? Once Season 3 drops, it isn't long before it is revealed that Xana, once again, is back, and this time with a wicked vengeance. Xana has somehow managed to escape its confined environment of the supercomputer and completely began waging trouble on the virtual world of Lyoko once again. This time, it wiped out all of the sectors, with the exception of Sector 5. This is where the Lyoko warriors begin their reluctant thoughts regarding their friend William becoming the sixth member of Code Lyoko. Through the hesitation, they grant him the chance of being a recruited Lyoko warrior. But it isn't long before Xana begins to use William as a host for the near-invisible villain to aid in the destruction of Code Lyoko. William's possession not only destroys the core of Code Lyoko, but helps rain trouble on our fellow warriors by rendering them incapable of defeating William or Xana, now throwing their homeworld into grave trouble. Jeremy then gets an unexpected code message from a very unexpected ally. This ally is none other than the legendary creator of Code Lyoko, Franz Hopper. Franz aids the Lyoko warriors in completely battling against Xana. Finally, Season 4 comes around to reveal that Jeremy and Ailita are building a digital submarine that is known as the Skid Bladman. I hope I pronounced that right. Which they are planning to use to travel across the digital seas of Lyoko in hopes to destroy the replicas, which are, as you expected, Xana-controlled Lyoko sectors. They are linked to the supercomputers on Earth that Xana controls to aid in the invisible villain's quest of global domination. I don't want to give away too much more other than the core facts, but as you guessed it, at the season's end, the Code Lyoko Warriors are successful in another defeat of Xana and decide to permanently shut down the supercomputer this time. If we give what we got, we will make it through. Code Lyoko was a very successful show for its short lifetime on television. It even spawned off several pieces of merchandise, including, but not limited to, the following. Video games, which were Code Lyoko Quest for Infinity for Nintendo Wii, Code Lyoko and Code Lyoko Fall of Xana, both which were for Nintendo DS. DVDs including the complete series volumes, and individual seasons. And an original soundtrack, trivia books, and maybe even a spin-off movie? In recent years, fans have flocked to Reddit to keep Code Lyoko's fandom alive. And, well, based off of Reddit user Mount Shangri-La's page r/Code Lyoko, the fandom still currently has 7,000 Reddit fans alone. The Lyoko-ites of Facebook have also created at least 20 fan pages for Code Lyoko, and 2 of them currently have 8,000 plus and 10,000 plus fans active as of 2023. Code Lyoko had a very dedicated fan base and a promising future. But why did it all just suddenly end? Well, I will get to that. Turn to the past now. In 2012, a new relaunch for Code Lyoko took place, one that excited many fans, myself included. It was appropriately called Code Lyoko Evolution. Yeah, that don't sound any familiar in any way, shape, or form. Kinda does, I just can't put my finger on the key. It was launched as a live-action to 3D CGI animation-based series with a budget of 5.6 million euros, which is just shy of $6.2 million US today. The show was developed to take place 1 year after the original series' events. So yes, 1 year after Jeremy deactivated the supercomputer permanently. And while I hate to be the person to give away information because it often leads to spoilers, but here we go again. Now, for those who haven't seen it yet, Xana, as we knew, was beaten by the end of Season 4 in the original animated series. However, like most drama makers in today's society, Xana is back to stir up the drama pot a little bit more. What a surprise. Nah, I'm just kidding. Xana really needs to stop being a fan. So, back to Lyoko we go, with our pals Yumi, Odd, Ulrich, Aelita, all being back on the fighting grounds to protect the world of Lyoko and their beloved real world. But this time, they are joined by William Dunbar. William is from the original series, and for most who may not recall, Yumi had a crush on him for a little bit. And now he is officially our 6th Lyoko warrior member. This time, Xana is limited on its attacks for the real world, as some of its coding was implanted in some of the Lyoko warriors before William joined up. During the final virtualization in Season 4 of the animated series. Now, however, Xana is trying to get back its codes so it can take over the internet through its polymorphic sectors once again. These codes have a good and bad side to them. The good side is that our beloved protectors of Lyoko can use the codes to deactivate the towers under Code Lyoko's control, which will stop Xana's attacks. The bad side is the towers can also be deactivated under Santa's influence, which can cause complete and utter chaos on both reality and Lyoko's worlds. Jeremy enlists the assistance of Laura Gauthier, who is a female genius, in hopes to create a virus that will eradicate Xana's attacks once and for all. I'd keep going, but well, I don't want to bore you by giving away everything. Were we all just Santa possessed? Enough talk about the show for a bit. Let's get to the facts. Xana may not actually exist, nor do our beloved Code Lyoko warriors, but I feel it is necessary to address the glowing red tower in the room. Pun intended. The reason Code Lyoko is no longer a part of our real-world lives is for several reasons. Moonscoop Group had several, and I mean several, predecessors company-wise before Lyoko's world was even a concept art. France Animation was active from 1984 up until 2005, and it was based out of Paris, France. During September 2003, France Animation faced an acquisition of sale by Wanadu, which is owned by Anti-Films Productions. Futurescope, which was established in 1987 and ran up until 1990, was also part of the predecessors, but I can only find very, very, very little on this company, like literally nothing at all. Now, in 1990, Anti-Films was formed by Christopher D. Sabantino, which was functional until 2001. That is when the company changed its name to Anti-Films Productions. Anti-Films Production remained active until France Animation and Anti-Films Productions merged together in 2004 to create Moonscoop Group, LLC. Now, as you can see, this is a very confusing list of hand changes for the company. On January 24th of 2014, the Commercial Court of Paris, France, accepted Degard Media's bid for Moonscoop's entire library, which made them complete owners of every single show, including Code Lyoko, that had ever been made by Moonscoop's companies. They also became the last two employees for the company and ultimately declared bankruptcy. Oof, that's gotta be the worst karma ever. There is one thing I must note. On February 3rd of 2014, despite the filing of bankruptcy, Degard Media was rebranded to Splash Entertainment. And Splash Entertainment is currently still active to this very day. Even though Splash Entertainment is still active today, they are partnered with another company by the name of Cyber Group Studios. The final thoughts on Lyoko. Alright fans, some of this information may seem confusing to you. Don't worry, it completely confused me too. What are your final thoughts on the world of Lyoko? Do you think we'd ever see our beloved warriors again? Do you think another generation will stumble upon Xana in the future and trigger new drama in Code Lyoko with Xana? Do you think we will ever get a remastered version of the original series? Why was there no proper promotion of this show? Did you find it weird? We had literally no real merch for this series other than video games and DVDs. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I really want to hear your opinions. Now, return to the past right now. So, as of May 1st of 2025, I can kindly report that there are rumors swirling on the frontiers of the Lyoko obsessed world platforms that is potentially hinting we may be arriving on an anniversary or potential revival of our beloved Code Lyoko show. There has been nothing confirmed 100%, just rumors right now, but well, here's to the positivity that it could be in the upcoming future or on the horizon. Thank you for all my fellow Code Lyoko fans for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed my discussion and that you may tune in for my next episode of RNNC. Until then, see you real soon. Bye-bye. Raven signing off.